Good evening.
How's it going?
You're like halfway in there, Tyler.
Well, that's the way I lean.
I got like a giant head.
That's just the way you sit.
We have 9 people in here already.
I'm only showing one on mine.
We're early.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
We all hear the stories in the...
Nice, Tyler.
It was paused.
Hey, Anthony.
I'm not kidding. The live chat though.
Eric and Liam and Brian. I better not keep naming names or we'll be here for a long time.
I'm not getting the live chat on mine.
All right. Everything coming through okay tonight? Let me know if it's okay. Hey, there's Brandon. Oh, getting ready to leave on the next trip here real soon. 2 more days. And then hopefully be closing on the property next week. Just waiting to hear back from the title company still.
You still haven't heard anything from them?
No, well, no, just I sent them a message saying, hey, we got the paperwork yet? And they said no, so.
Okay, live chat's finally working on mine.
Okay, so what have I had going on this week? All kinds of stuff on the electrical side of things on the bus.
Yeah.
Just about done with everything. The inverter install is done. The 12-volt side is done. The house batteries are all in. Right now I'm just kind of in cleanup mode and reorganizing a few things, and we're trying to put if you watched the video yesterday, I talked about the diet the bus is going on. I'm trying to remove as much weight from there as I can.
Do you actually think it's going to be less though? Because the batteries may be a lot lighter, but you just added 2 giant inverters plus all that weight on your roof and the panels.
Yep.
You still think it's going to come in lighter?
I think I'm going to be lighter. We were 26,400, I think is what we were last time. I'll have to review back to I got the sheet from the scales in the bus. I'll have full water.
Okay.
Last time I had half water, but I had a full black tank and a full gray tank, so that should equal about the same. The batteries, we lost several hundred pounds of batteries, but then we gained several hundred pounds of solar panels.
Yeah. Plus inverter weight.
Yeah, but I also took out I took out 3 other power inverters to put those 2 in.
But you had 3 inverters?
Yes.
I thought you only had 1.
I had the backup one that was mounted on the wall behind the fridge, the 5,000 watt one.
Okay.
And then I had the 2,000 watt Magnum. And then I had another like 750 watt one that was in the bedroom.
Oh, I didn't know you had one back there.
Yep. Well, you just said you knew I had one.
No, the refrigerator one makes sense though. Now I've had your refrigerator out enough.
Yeah.
I forgot that was there, but I didn't.
Yeah,
know
that was just my spare backup in case the other one crapped out. And we relied on that a few times, but now since I have the other 2, I don't need 3. And then I got a little bit of wiring to finish up on the generator battery. I have a 2-aught cable that's run through that compartment that is going to where the old batteries used to tie in. Driving down the road, they would charge off the alternator. So there's a switch that I flip, and then when I go to start the bus, it joined the house bank to the start bank. But since I'm 24 volt on the house bank now, I don't want that anymore. But I moved that 2-aught wire and that relay over to where it's coming through the generator battery wall. So I'll tie that into the generator battery, and then I'll have 1 extra battery aiding in the starting of the bus. And then the generator battery will always get charged from the alternator going down the road.
I mean, you should have enough solar and inverter power though. You could really just run your battery charger out the window from an outlet and charge your bus.
Well, I have a battery charger hardwired in there, and I have the smart plug in the wall. I just say, Alexa, turn on battery charger.
Did you put your block heater on the same thing?
Yes.
That's nice.
Yep. And I'm definitely getting the Samuel L. Jackson for my Alexa, by the way.
I want to hear it talk back to you as it goes to turn your
Definitely
alarm
on
on.
plan. If you have any questions, make sure you type them all in caps. That way they stand out for us. He's going to go through and read the questions off there. Going to kind of try to go in order. Don't ask it more than once. Just ask it once. If you ask it a whole bunch of times, unless we obviously get way past where your question was and we missed you, you can then ask again. But if you just sit there and type it over and over and over again, Kelly's going to kick you out. And just please be respectful and nice to everybody. Thank you. All right. You want to start with some questions?
So the first one is what happened to Benny?
Traded Benny for my Volkswagen Thing, and then he got converted to a different kind of a bus.
Really nice way to put that.
And then they stripped all his paint off. They walnut shell blasted him. So
It's been primed too.
yeah, all of his paint's been. It actually looked pretty badass when it was in primer. He looked like an urban assault vehicle. That was all like black primer, flat black. He looked pretty cool like that, I thought. But yeah, they gutted him and then they sold him to somebody else. So I don't even know who owns him anymore. They didn't reach out to
Michigan, I
me.
believe.
Yeah, nobody reached out to me and said, "Hey, I own that bus now." So
What happened to the waterlogged Wonder Lodge in Texas?
I haven't heard anything lately on that. He was gonna try soaking it with like a rust inhibitor stuff or something to hopefully that he could start turning it over again and then hoping that it would run. But I've not heard, and I assume that process will take a while to do that.
Didn't know if this is possible, but could you put solar powered underfloor heating in the bus?
Well, I'm sure you could, absolutely. I don't know how practical that would be, and then right now, like on our bus, you have to tear the floor up and everything to do it.
It'd be a real pain.
Yeah, I could probably do something on the bay ceilings down there because it is aluminum, which would radiate heat pretty well, some kind of electric heat.
Yeah, but you have an inch of insulation between there too.
I do, and then plywood and subflooring and everything. So, for me, it wouldn't be a really good thing to do.
I'm definitely putting heating floors in my bathroom on mine.
But I do have a waterbed heater laid out underneath of my fresh water tank, which is an aluminum tank, down in that battery bay, and it was like 18 degrees last night, and it kept my bay at 47 degrees all night long. Just running a little 300 watt. It's 300 watts, the waterbed heater. So that thing works great for that, and I'm gonna actually get a smart plug for that too, so I can have Alexa turn that on and off for me too. So I don't have to. Right now, I currently have to go down in the bay and plug it in, and I don't want to do that. And I didn't want to wire in a switch, so I can just add one of those things. It works Wi-Fi. It'll pick up the Wi-Fi in the bay.
Do you prefer soldered or crimp connections on large cables?
I actually started doing both on those when I was doing them. I was crimping them and then also soldering them.
See, that's what I've done, but I've been told that you don't want to just solder because if the connection gets loose and starts heating up, the solder can melt out and the wire can come back out of the connection.
yeah. Well, I never just soldered anything.
At least crimp it too.
But when I got down to the end, I was like, okay, why am I doing this? And they're just crimped. So
What was your first mobile repair job in Lenny?
probably Lenny.
Yeah, about 2 blocks away from where we picked it up.
Oh yeah, and then another a few miles down the road.
Like 15 miles down the interstate, and then that one time we pulled in the Walmart parking lot like 20 minutes later.
Oh man, yeah. Lenny didn't. He didn't make a seamless trip home when we bought him.
I
That's
really
for
hope
sure.
my drive back from North Carolina goes like 2 or 3 times than yours.
Yeah, it was. That was an exciting trip. I wish we would have documented the whole thing on video because there was a lot of really funny moments.
I wish we had dash cam footage of when the rooftop air conditioning shell came off at me.
No, I think when the air filters plugged up.
Oh,
and
that'd
I
be hilarious
Smoke
too.
screened
I
the
lost
highway.
a 6-lane interstate. Couldn't see a single car.
6-lane interstate completely smoked out by the bus. You couldn't see anything.
I was trying really hard not to rear-end you, but I was trying to get over because I'm assuming he's pulling off.
Pulling over.
What is the brand name of the solar panels you installed?
Sun Power, and I'm getting ready to get some more. I've been talking with the company and got a shipping quote. I'm really at this point. I'm just waiting for us to close on the property so I can have it sent to Tennessee.
Tell us about the Sage Texas bus.
And just to go back, Santan Solar is where I got those from, and they're an amazing price. We got them for $110 a piece. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't want to sell out before I get my other ones, but yeah. What were you saying on Texas bus?
They were asking
You can-
about Sage's
you can
bus in
answer that.
Texas. We left and it's got some serious engine problems.
I'm gonna turn this just a little bit so your head's
Okay,
kind
this
of
is the
in
way
there.
I always lean.
I know,
So.
well, I'm trying to lean over there.
And I'm not trying to just like lean over on you. So when we left, we have a bunch of problems with it right now. We're getting coolant in the liners. You can see it getting back into the airbox. Best case, it's a bad head gasket or a bad injector cup. Worst case, we have a cracked head. But that's only a part of the problem. We have a lot of excessive crankcase pressure. We have high RPM misfires. Bad blower seals are just completely filling the engine with oil. I'd be generous and say it's a 3-mile loop, and we used 1.5 gallons of oil. So it's got some stuff that we're gonna have to figure out to get it back here.
I think the thing you do is just go there, take a head with you, and do an in frame, and then just have the head in case swap it out anyways, and just do the in frame. It's so much easier than that's so much easier than doing an engine swap in there, unless the engine is already out of a Silver Sides, because they have a very specific bell housing. Everything you put like a 4104 engine in there. It's totally different. The mount and everything is part of that bell housing, and you can't do it. So, and you would spend way more time trying to replace that bell housing, taking everything apart, than just doing the quick in frame.
Someone else asked if I rode the 4-wheel in the snow. No, I got home and I was tired. My Harley was blocking it in, so I left it. I still have time for that though. It hasn't melted yet. I think it's supposed to snow at the end of the week too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think they changed it now. Originally it was Monday, but I think now it's Tuesday.
I'm still gonna be here, I think so.
You will be, yeah.
Have you done a full discharge on the Battleborn batteries? If so, how long did it take in full sun to fully recharge?
I've not, so I don't have that answer. When we had them down to, I think 63% is the lowest that I had them. It might only have been 68%, but for some reason I'm thinking 63. And they were, by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they were charged back up. So to me, that would say by the end of the day, they would definitely be charged back up.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get more than like 5 kilowatts of solar a day, but it never went past like 1 o'clock. At that point it would go off of bulk mode, and then so it only takes what it needs. So I haven't been, so I'll be curious to see what we get when it gets down that far. But my house here, the bus sits in front of a tree and stuff too. So
does Alexa have to have internet to make your smart switches toggle?
people have said that, it doesn't matter to me, because I can just, if I'm too lazy, I can, the one in the bay I wouldn't be able to reach easily, but these two that are up top, I can see the button on them, so I can lean over and push it if that happened. But we always have internet. We got the Wi-Fi booster and everything in there, so I've never, since we've had that, we've not had internet once this year. So we have 2 cell phone companies for internet. We have Verizon and AT&T. The AT&T is a lot more spotty. The Verizon has worked 99% of the time, but if it doesn't, then there's a good chance that the AT&T will work.
My AT&T went down in Texas for over a day.
Everywhere we used to go on AT&T, it was terrible.
Well, they were saying around there it's not uncommon. It happens all the time with AT&T. I'm like, how do they sell any phones here? Hey, Scott, next bearing check. Could you detail how to gauge the bearing size?
Um,
I don't know exactly what they're talking about for a bearing check. You're talking about main bearing check on a 92?
Oh, that's probably what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about, wheel bearings. I was trying to figure out what they were going with that.
They're all stamped on the backside of the bearing size.
Yeah, but I think they're wanting to know if we're using plastic gauge or something like that. Unless there's a lot of wear in there, I'm not even messing with plastic gauge. So if they're not worn and nothing has come off of either one, and you can just go back with. But yeah, once you get into where there's serious wear on there, then you really need to know where you're at with it.
Property update, please.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
We're just the lady who's selling the property inherited it, and the title company is requiring a document from the state of Tennessee stating that the person that she inherited it from never received TennCare benefits, which that's like Tennessee Care, like Medicaid or Medicare or that type of thing, which the girl says that her grandmother didn't have any of that. So if she had have received benefits, then the heirs would have been required to pay that back. And so Tennessee Care would have put a lien on her property. So they just need a release from TennCare saying that, hey, that this property was clear. It didn't go through probate. It went through some other type of thing or something. So normally in probate that would have been done, but I don't understand. I'm not really sure the chain of how it went, but title company won't issue the clear title insurance thing unless that document is there. So it usually takes 1 to 3 weeks to get that, and they applied for it like 2 weeks ago. So
when will you be towards Georgia?
I'm gonna be in Alabama. We had a job in Arkansas, but he's that guy that we went out to that 4104 with the propped up engine door, that one. He's actually gonna sell that bus. so he doesn't want us to go there and do the work on it. So that job got pushed out of there, so we're not going to Arkansas. So we're just going to Alabama. We had a job scheduled for Tennessee that I just got a notification about an hour ago that they don't need us to come because they're doing that themselves. So we should be at the Tennessee property for a few days once we close, and then we're going to Alabama, and then gosh, I don't know if we're in Georgia. I think maybe we are in Georgia for a little bit of that. Kelly just showed me the map not an hour ago, and my brain is so fried with stuff going on that I can't remember if we're in Georgia or not. But we go Alabama and then Florida, a bunch of people in Florida, all the way down South Florida, and then coming back up north, and then we're going to finish Mark's bus, the Bluebird 8B92TA, and then get this guy's bus.
Yeah. Tanks or buses?
Well, I mean, tanks are exciting because they're different, but I would hate to travel across the country in a tank. That wouldn't be fun.
You sure? Because I think we could do that.
No,
Could we put a bus on tracks?
no,
You don't want to half track a bus?
no.
All right. When the bus is finished, what will the expected range on a full tank of fuel?
When the bus is,
When the bus is finished, what is the expected range on a full tank of fuel?
like, on my bus?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're asking. We usually don't like to go over like 650, 700 miles on a tank of fuel, just because I don't want to run out. Depending on that, if the pickup tube's all the way on the right hand corner on the back of the tank, and if you're going downhill or lean to the left, I've run out of fuel. On my fishbowl, I ran out of fuel with 60 gallons still in the tank because it was a steep bank, hard bank turn.
Someone's already been kicked out by mom.
Oh.
Someone asked if I'm going to be in town for Cletus and Cars and or Hot Rod Power Tour. I don't know about Power Tour, but I already have my demo drag car for Cletus and Cars. I think it's a 96. It's a white Cadillac. It's going to be fun.
I would love to do the power tour.
I would too.
And the other thing you talked about the other day.
Yep, we got to do that. I almost forgot what it was for a second. Have you come across anyone with 6 110 parts?
No. I've thought about selling some of the old parts I have in the garage of Lenny's. If anybody wants to buy them, just to have like some cylinder liners that came out of Lenny, that might be
I
fun.
may or may not have the connecting rod in my truck under the center console.
Raise some money for my solar panels. Oh my god, I spent so much money on that bus this last few months. Last month, really, with all the batteries and the solar and the inverters, and got to raise some money. But I'm not begging, so don't.
How to treat a water tank that has not been used for a while as precaution?
Bleach. That's what I did to mine, and then we flushed it out a few times, and then put another cup of bleach in it each time. We don't drink out of our water tank though. We have separate drinking water for that. But I'm looking at buying another water tank, and I think I'm going to mount it vertically behind the refrigerator. I've seen some that are like only 6 inches deep, and I got about 5 inches of space behind my fridge right now, so all I really have to do is bump it out just a little bit, and that would be a great spot for me to keep like a 40-gallon drinking water, nice high quality food grade. My freshwater tank is aluminum, and I don't want to drink out of that tank because of the metal.
I just saw someone here make a comment about Freedom Factory. I'm going to Cletus and Cars Indy, not anything at his place. When you hit Florida, will you go to the Panhandle, like Tallahassee?
No, that's the only part of Florida we're not going to be in.
Are you still planning on installing power steering and an engine brake on Lenny?
Yes, Jake brakes and power steering. I don't have any of the Jake brake parts. When I got home, none of that stuff is here. The valve, I need a Jake brake valve cover still, and I would need a buffer switch, and I need, what else I need? The bridges. I think I needed the bridges too. I can't remember now.
Bridges, buffer switch, and the taller valve cover is all you needed, I think.
Yep, that's what I need still. So still need them. A viewer said they were sending them to me, and they're not here though. So
Do we just email you and me if they need help, and what's the average cost for your travel?
I have a whole video called like scheduling the bus grease monkey. Search for that, and it'll answer all of those questions in great detail for you. Have all of our prices and travel fee and all that. So everything is broke down, and it's a very good video.
Yep. And at the end of all my videos, I have the shop phone number and social media accounts that you can reach
I had
us on.
somebody send me an email today saying that I don't know how to get a hold of Tyler, and I'm like, I think at the end of every one of his videos he has his phone number.
I don't answer it every time, but I do check my messages at least once a day, because even right now, that phone's sitting in the shop truck. In Chris's shop, I don't get signal, so I leave it in the truck all day because it gets signal there. I'll check my messages usually once a day. If you message me through like the Instagram or Facebook page for the shop, I get it immediately. That's usually the best way to get a hold of me, because that goes to my personal phone, not my shop phone. Why don't you use your extra solar to heat your hot water tank?
Well, we are. I mean, we have an electric water heater, so all I have to do is just turn it on, and the batteries will charge from, or the solar, depending on how much power they're pulling. But yeah, everything's electric on our bus, so technically the solar will charge that or heat the water heater.
Sorry, I'm putting people in timeout right now.
Oh, Jesus. Please behave. I don't have the patience for it tonight.
Jacob asked if we want him to bring the Corrado to Indy for Cletus and cars. Yes. Definitely bring your Corrado up.
That's a hard-working boy right there.
I think next month the Cadillac comes up from Kentucky, so that'll be up here for it. And then the burnout car is coming along. I think he's preemptively looking at shipping a spare transmission to my house.
Can you tell him what we're talking about doing, or are we keeping that a secret?
I think we should wait until we do it.
Okay.
We gotta be first to do this. We're caught up on questions.
No way.
Yeah, no, I'm at the bottom of the list.
If we missed your question,
Go ahead and throw it back up.
you may now repeat it.
I don't think it reset on me.
Oh, man.
Yes, it's a North Star Cadillac with blown head gaskets. Someone was asking about what's in the demo
glasses are
drag
so
car.
dirty.
I'm going to pour a bunch of head gasket repair in it and fill it with water. It's demo drag. It's just got to make it a quarter mile and hit a car at least once on the way down. Oh, my phone is at 15%. I really should have charged it before I came over.
Somebody I saw just asked a question that said, does Tyler work on electronic 8V92s?
Yes, I do.
Do you have the stuff that'll read you don't have the cartridges and stuff to read them though, do you?
No, I believe Chris has them.
No.
I think his Snap-on will do it, but I might be wrong. I have the 7 and the 9 pin, or 6 and 9, whatever it is, big truck scan tools in my truck. There's just a smaller code reader one. Anything bigger than that, I go borrow his.
All right.
Please tell people that it was a water heater, not a hot water heater.
What?
I think for the solar.
Oh, well, yeah, my solar well, it does my block heater as well. My block heater is tied into the battery system. That's part of the reason why we did all this. We don't have to run the generator to do that, and the solar charges it back up. But also my hot water heater for inside the bus for, cooking, showering, all that kind of stuff, is electric too.
Someone asked if I work on the DT466s. Yeah, I work on everything. If you watch my channel, I just did a V8 Cummins, 2 days ago when I smashed my finger.
Did you have a Scenic Cruiser finger?
No, but I really thought I was going to lose the end of my finger when it came out.
Uh-oh.
It got pinched between a body panel and the hydraulics of a tractor. Sage said he's in on the secret bus project. Do you ever done a bus engine? Have you ever done a bus engine swap?
Oh, yeah.
Which one did you swap?
I have
an engine
videos of it too.
on? Which one did you swap an engine on?
Well, a couple of them, but one of the ones with Phil last year.
Oh yeah. You got holding a cradle together too.
Yep.
Will the solar panels run the AC?
Yes, they will. Will they run all day long? I do not think so. Well, definitely not with the current setup, but when I add my next setup of solar panels, I will, because I'm adding 8 more panels to the roof. So I will have like 4,800 watts coming in when I do that. That's maximum, which I'm never going to get that because they're not all angled exactly perfectly and all that. But I really think I'll be pulling 4,000 easily on there. So yes, I'll be able to do that.
Someone's asking, is the DDEC 2 diode connector round or rectangular? I don't remember what the DDEC 2 connector looks like off the top of my head. Have you looked at one recently?
I don't do them, so.
Everything I do is for the most part round, but I work on a lot of newer stuff that's electronic. Someone says that we have really inspired them to do a bus.
Cool. I saw somebody said Phil needs me to come back. I can't wait to get back up and see Phil again. That'll be fun.
Someone asked again if I rode the four-wheeler in the snow today. No. Unfortunately, like my Harley blocks that in, and it's not easy to get out right now because I have something on the other side of the garage from it, so I can't roll it out, so I have to pick it up and carry it out. So it'll be in there for a while until I get the other project moved. Sorry, I'm going through a lot of stuff getting blocked here. Is the Trojan loader engine installed and running? Yeah, Chris sent me a message at like 2 o'clock this morning that they got it running.
I saw a picture of him on Facebook sleeping because he'd been up for like
48 hours straight,
Yeah.
and Mindy made him go home. Yeah. I guess he was like falling asleep in the chair in his office today. So Mindy told him just to go home and go to sleep. My MC6 power steering was working a few months ago, but was leaking slowly, and now not at all. Can I just refill the reservoir with ATF, and there are specific procedures that need to be done?
Just fill it and turn the wheel a little bit to the left and then a little bit to the right, and then shut it off and fill it again. And then if you just continue to turn to the left and right when it starts sucking air through there, then it gets real foamy and it takes a long time to get all that out. So just do it a little bit at a time. Turn it left, turn it right. And that pushes it through there.
There are a bunch of bots in here that I'm having to put out of here tonight.
Oh, crap.
All right, let me find the next question here.
Are they just posting like spam links or are they saying stupid stuff?
Saying stupid stuff, Mom's keeping them out of here too. Short version of why 24 volt is better than 12 volt on your battery setup.
The higher the voltage, the easier it is on everything. So even the wiring and stuff like that too, when you're not pushing as many amps through there, and you can use smaller wiring to do that. So like my solar charge controller, for example, was I think it was like $700, I think, something like that. And it will do 1,000 watts of solar at 12 volt for 70 amps. But the same controller, if you bump it up to 24 volts, it can then carry 2,000 watts of solar at 70 amps of 24 volts. So it can do twice as much work. So it's just more efficient, and especially, well, everything with the higher the voltage, the better that it is. But when you start to get to the real high voltage stuff, then it does get a little bit more dangerous. You know, you're not going to kill yourself with a 12 volt battery. A 24 volt system, you're still really not going to probably hurt yourself with that. But 48 volt, you really got to start being careful. I don't know where the line is, but.
Someone's asking if you ever get concerned about all the electrical wiring running through the bus catching on fire. This includes the diesel heater. That's the only other question, otherwise I was going to skip it.
Yeah, no, I have 3 fire extinguishers on the bus. I put, shut-offs on everything. So, hopefully an electrical fire we would be able to put out kind of thing. But that would be a very sad day. And if you've seen some of the wiring, I have a lot of the original wiring still in my bus. So 1947 wiring run through stuff, which is all like cloth covered cable, and rodents have chewed some of the cloth off here and there, or it's worn off.
Or it smokes off sometimes when you accidentally short it.
I've done that a few times too.
Yeah, it hurts.
So like I'll go in where I can see where it's really bad, and I've sprayed the original wiring down with liquid electrical tape, like the spray can electrical tape, basically like rubberized undercoating, just to help give it a little extra, because there's some bare wires here and there on that, and at some point I'm going to pull all that original wiring out and just redo everything, but I just haven't had the time to do that.
Someone else is asking about the property.
Just waiting any day. Everything is done on our end. We're just waiting for one piece of paperwork from the title company, and we've actually paid for everything is done on our side. So we don't even have to go to closing anymore. They can just send us some email documents that we'll sign electronically, and we'll be done, and the property's ours. So we just got to get In order to get the title insurance policy, they're waiting on one piece of release paperwork to confirm something with the state of Tennessee.
What is the best cleaner you guys have found for moving grease and oil from your hands?
Those Gojo wipes that I use are,
Gray bottle of them.
yeah. I don't know if I have one in here.
I don't think there's a stack of them in here right now.
I got a whole case of them around here
I've
somewhere.
got them in my bathroom. I've got them in my garage.
Yeah,
my
I've done
trunk.
several videos with them, but they're amazing. The Gojo scrubbing wipe things. It's a gray bottle, and I have a link to Amazon on a video of it. So probably just search hand cleaner on my channel, and you'll find a link to it. That's my favorite stuff.
Have you found a better?
I've been home just long enough where my fingernails are clean, by the way.
Yeah, same. I'll add to that though. What's your favorite degreaser? Have you found something that was better than Marine Clean?
You know what? I actually have a company that is sending me out a bunch of degreaser. It's going to be here tomorrow. And we're going to do a demo of it and see if we like it or not.
I didn't know about this till just now, but I'm pretty excited.
They got a hold of me a couple days ago and said, hey, we like your YouTube channel. I think our product would work well for you there. So I said, yeah, I'll try
I
it
have to
out.
go work on a 50s Ferguson tractor tomorrow, but after that, I'm free. I think Marine Clean's still the best that I've found. Whatever.
I do like Marine Clean.
It burns your skin, but it melts everything off. Grease, oil, paint. It will take it all right off.
Don't get it on your aluminum. You'll screw up your aluminum. A lot of those degreasers, you got to watch out for aluminum.
Will you have 3-phase power available at the new property?
It is available. Am I willing to pay the money to have it run to my property? That is most likely going to be a no.
Is our new toy 3-phase? Because that can run whenever we need 3-phase.
Oh, yeah, I haven't heard back from that guy though.
Okay.
What is going on in there?
I'll have to get back down in a second here on the chat. Someone's asking if I've ever worked on small engine 2-strokes for a bicycle. Never for a bicycle, but I've done dirt bikes and 4-wheelers. My 4-wheeler is a Blaster. It's a 2-stroke. Sides of the bus polished by hand or machine? Oh, Chris is in here now. Hey, Chris.
My bus is done by a machine, but by hand.
And it takes a while.
It's a good 40 hours worth of work to polish that damn bus.
How much was it the first time when we had to get rid of all the bad
Oh, when I had to
anodizing?
get rid of the anodizing
Like
on it,
2 weeks?
It was, oh man, I used oven cleaner, I used sandpaper,
The whole
Scotch
shop
Brite
floor was
pen.
nothing but sandpaper
There
when
was,
we got there.
I bet I used 1,000 pieces of sandpaper on that thing.
574104 changed 4-speed to automatic transmission, labor only. I'm guessing they wouldn't know the price, what you think it'd be. I've never done a 4104.
It's definitely more challenging. You don't have it's different. You got to find everything that's a little different setup on there. Probably about a week's worth of labor in on there, and then I would say don't be surprised if it was 2 weeks worth of labor.
Yeah. Will you be moving to the new property as your full-time residence?
Yes. Well, I mean the bus is my full-time residence.
It's
But,
the on-paper residence.
but we're gonna sell this house here is gonna be sold.
Have you talked to your new neighbor yet, or waiting until close?
Waiting to talk to them in person. I haven't been to Tennessee yet, so.
How long has the bus grease monkey been around? I love it.
I would say the website was officially the first thing that we did. It's probably been about 8 years, maybe,
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, were you doing it when I was in high school at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so more than 8 years.
Okay.
I graduated
Time
8
flies
years
by.
ago.
You know what? You could, if you're joining the Bus Grease Monkey forum, you could look back and see what the earliest post was, and that will tell you.
Probably the rules page or something.
Although we actually had a different forum for a little bit before that one. I think it was less than a year before I changed to that software.
Is your property zoned for residential?
Yes.
Will you install a 24-volt alternator so you can use rooftop AC while driving?
Probably not. But I can install a battery charger that will run off of the 110 side of things with the alternator that's on there now if I decide to do it that way.
What kind of solar are you going to use at the property?
probably something similar to what I have on the bus. Maybe a little bit larger commercial panel, a little higher voltage or something too.
Do we get to cut apart hybrid batteries?
No.
Damn it. If you're looking for a good GM two-stroke engine in a tractor, Oliver's. 53 series ones.
That's what we'll be looking for sure.
I mean, I think at least for sure a tractor and a skid steer and probably a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Maybe a backhoe. One of everything would be nice. If the bus thing doesn't work out, we can go to excavating.
Yeah.
TJ said he might be working on Scenic Cruiser 858 this weekend. Have to get it moved out of the storage lot.
TJ is going to be the only guy I know who put brand new tires on a bus, and his tires are going to expire before he ever freaking drove it. Right, TJ?
Well, actually, he said he might be working on it this weekend. I might be able to come help you with that because I'm not going to Tennessee now.
Oh, yeah.
That's only like, what, 2.5 hours away?
Yeah.
3 hours in the flatbed. That thing is really slow.
By the way, if you think I do sketchy shit under a bus, TJ has a video where he's under his Scenic Cruiser and the camera's set on a tripod and the Scenic Cruiser comes down off of the jacks with him laying under there. And then TJ comes scurrying out from underneath the bus after it came down. So, what is his YouTube channel? Is his name TJ on there?
Yeah, it's
Dykstra.
Yeah,
Or,
Hoekstra.
Hoekstra, yeah, that's what it is.
The area where
There
we're
he
from does not have good last names.
Oh, hey, I just saw a super chat come on there.
Nope, you're pulling from the wrong spot.
Oh, sorry.
Click on it. Click on the super chat.
Okay. Have you ever heard about the GM Turbo Cruiser and turbine powered bus TDH 4512 operation? Something I'm not mistaken. Well, there's a really cool documentary. I don't know if this is the one you're talking about, but there was a documentary film from the 70s where the government funded 3 separate programs to make steam powered buses. So like the Learjet guy, the guy that made Learjets, came up with one, and then I don't remember what other companies, but there 3 companies did it, and they actually had steam turbine engines and steam engines powering intercity transit buses, and they ran them in service for a year, and they got like 3 miles to the gallon, which I think if they would have stuck with it, they could have improved it. But yeah, it was like a big PR thing, and they took them to Washington and drove them around. And there's a documentary called the Steam Bus Project. It's on YouTube, and you can watch it. I think it's like maybe 2 or 3 episodes or something like that. But it's got really bad like 70s porno kind of music in it. But other than that, I think it's a really cool documentary.
So I don't think 3 miles to the gallon was all that far off of what your fishbowl got in town, is it?
No, that's what they all got in the city. Yeah.
So I mean, new technology getting this. Well, not new technology, but a new take on that.
They were
technology.
quiet. They were cleaner burning. There was a.
They meant the Bus Grease Monkey song, not Bus Grease Monkey in general. It's
Uh,
only been out for a few months.
Yeah.
Like 2.
That happened on the last trip.
Yeah,
Hasn't even been 2 months old.
it's my ringtone.
I love the Bus Grease Monkey song. Shall we sing it?
No, I'm not singing. What do you think about swapping engines on? Oh, I reset. I think it was asking about on classic buses with modern engines.
What now?
Someone wants to know what you think about swapping engine.
Putting
on
a modern
classic bus with
engine?
modern ones.
Putting a modern engine in a classic bus?
Yeah.
Well, I don't work on them, so I mean, from a practicality standpoint, it is very hard to find a shop that can work on a 2-stroke nowadays, or to get the parts right away, and they don't even want to work on the old buses. So I don't know if it matters if you have a new engine or not. They still might just frown on you for having an old bus because they don't want to get involved with their liability insurance and that kind of thing.
Well, most shops too. I mean, they only work on stuff they can quote. They don't want to work on something that's going to be like an old bus. You're going to tell somebody it's going to be by the hour until it's done.
And I understand too. They don't want to tie up a bay in their shop for 2 weeks for something that.
It's waiting on a seal that's
Yeah.
unobtainium.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people just don't know how to work on that older stuff, and they don't want to be the learning one.
So I would never be mad at somebody for doing that to a bus, unless it was like a perfectly preserved seated coach or something. I'd be like, oh, why did you do that?
like an
But,
MC6. It'd be a little sad.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
What happened to the bus that tried to run away? Would you have restored it with all the rust present?
If it was my personal bus, no, I wouldn't put the effort into that. But I told her if she's going to do the work herself or have a family member that's going to help her do that, then that's great. it's gonna be worth it. But if she has to hire out to have that done, it's not gonna be profitable for her at all to do that.
Do you ever plan on getting a new engine put in the bus in the future?
No. No, but we're gonna rebuild it, and when we go turbo, I think first time we're putting the turbo on, we're just leaving the non-turbo liners in it, which is a higher compression ratio.
Just see how long it goes.
And yeah, just because they do run like that, they will work like that. Even though somebody's right now that's watching this is like, no, don't do that. You can do it, and then
Put plenty of turbo stuff on non-turbo setups.
yeah, and then when we eventually blow it up, then we'll rebuild it again. You know, and hopefully I won't blow it up enough where I hurt the block. That's all I want to get.
Someone says they can teach you how to make a three-phase rotary phase converter. I might need one. Actually,
Yeah.
probably will. Need to get like a nice lathe and a nice mill as soon as we have the space for it. More people getting deleted.
I wonder why that is.
TJ said his channel is the Scenic Cruisers.
Okay.
I think that's what he's trying to say. Do you still cry when you hear the Bus Grease Monkey song?
Oh, you suckers. Sometimes.
Where's a good place to get a blower rebuilt for Detroit and Dayton, Ohio? I don't know any places in Dayton. I know Sage had just found a place up in Michigan that does them, or up, I think it's in Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Excuse me, I'm tired. Powerline Components will rebuild them. I think the last one we sent them was like $630 or something like that. So, I mean, the bearing kit and everything alone is like 300 or something like that. So, I thought that was pretty fair.
How many horsepower would the turbo give you?
Well, that depends. We'll probably do a nice, modest, like 50 horsepower increase with it.
I think quite a bit of that's going to come from the injector that we upgrade to,
Oh,
too,
yes.
not just the turbo.
That is correct. But you can do some crazy stuff, but we're
limited on cooling system capacity
yeah.
pretty heavily.
Which I think I'll add another radiator.
I want to see where you're going to put the other radiator.
I got plenty of spots.
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely going to need that for my bus.
I already have an extra core or extra row in mine, so
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go from the start and have somebody build one. Because the stuff I have planned for my bus is going to put that cooling system into nuclear meltdown. Someone said any MTU shop should be able to rebuild those blowers. Are you coming to Illinois this year?
but watch out because they're charging $150 an hour to do that. It's not going to be a
Yeah, you're going to want to get a quote first. Because
Yeah.
it's probably cheaper to send to a shop that just does those.
yeah. If you can get them for like $650 done at the other place, that's exchange price. Be careful because you're going to be over $1,000 right away with the MTU shop.
Brother David is asking if I'm available to give opinion on a dead 2001 E350 in Bloomington. Yeah, if you reach out to my shop's pages on Instagram or Facebook, or my shop phone number is posted at the end of my videos, give it a call or a text, set something up, I can shoot down there and look at it pretty much any day next week. Any word on your missing valve cover?
Nope.
Have you rebuilt a blower?
Oh yeah, I have some videos on it too.
I don't want to. I try not to. Someone asked if I'm excited to get my bus. Yes and no. I want it. I want to get started working on it. I have to have somewhere to park it still, which I think I'm going to leave it at Chris's shop as much as I can. Maybe outside of here. Just a final goodbye to the HOA.
I don't think it needs to stay here. I don't need to do that to my neighbors.
But it's a nice red bus
No.
for now. But yeah, I can't wait to get started on it. I want to get the holes in it filled in pretty quickly. How do you figure out how much added cooling you need if you add a turbo? There should be math for that.
If I'm already maxed out, I just know that I need more.
Yeah.
Anytime you're adding power, you need to do that. So it's not a question of can I handle it? I know I can't.
What is the average hub temperature for a hub running greased bearings? It's a 4107.
They're usually not a whole lot warmer than they are without it. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen more than like 30 degrees above outside air temperature kind of thing. It's definitely not a lot.
Chris said I can leave the bus at his shop, no problem. We're caught up on questions again.
Hey Chris, I might want to bring my bus over. You got time to do something that might be like a 15-20 minute job? On the inside of Kelly's door, the door for the window for Kelly, there's like a piece of aluminum that the windshield or the window crank, the little gears mount to, and it's broken. And because it's off kilter like that, then the gear doesn't hit where it's supposed to. And I need to try to push it back together and see if you can weld it. It's pretty thin aluminum. It's like, I don't know, 22 gauge, or I don't know what the gauge is. You remember how thick that is?
No, but it really shouldn't matter. He's got 2 TIG welders.
Well, I didn't know if really thin was harder for him to do or anything. But if you got a chance, I just got to pull the door cover off and then I could line it up and see if you can weld it together. That'd be great.
Someone's asking what's the plan on my bus, restore it or convert it. It's already gutted and got holes in the roof and the sides, so it's going to get converted. But it still has a lot of original features, and all of those are staying. I've got partial luggage racks. I've got the front divider. The pony motor is still in mine with all the AC parts, but I think Sage had said he was interested in those, and I need that bay for a generator. So any parts that come off mine that are original are going to go back to somebody who wants them for original purposes. It's not like I'm getting rid of anything. Did you ever use any of that Gore-Tex gasket yet?
Nope. But I'm sure I will.
There's going to be some time where he's just going to get really excited out of nowhere. Remember, he has that in his bus and go run and get it.
Yeah.
How many acres at the new property?
Basically 25, 24.9, I think is what the number came out to. So, and it was questionable about, that was one of the things that took a little bit of time. They weren't sure how many acres they had. So we had to pay for a survey, and a survey, gosh, it was like $3,500 or something crazy like that. I want to say, I don't know, Kelly paid it. I don't know what but I'm pretty sure it was. It was over $3,000. I know that. They thought maybe it was as low as 19 acres, and the original listing said it was the 24.9, but it came in at 24.9. I had another super
Just
chat.
poke on it.
Okay, there we go. John says my tires are brand new as of date code 3 of 2014 on my bus, which that's not new, right? Okay, the tires still have the nibbles on them. What's the recommended age for use on tires? 11R22.5. So if they're your steer tires, I don't usually recommend that you go over like anywhere 6, maybe 7 years on them. Definitely not beyond 8 years on your steer tires, and I would never go beyond 10 years on my drive tires. And that's if you're in a good climate, because if you're somewhere like down in Phoenix and places like that, where like, I don't know if it's the ozone or the sun or whatever, but that place just eats up and destroys rubber. So keep a really close eye for cracking in the sidewalls, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you're already getting up there in age. Yeah.
Do you have any problems getting insurance on the bus? Full coverage.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
It's extremely difficult.
When you finish the solar upgrade, do you plan on running electric tools using the solar power?
Well, we just did the whole time we were down working on Juan's bus. We're, running the air compressors, the, welders, the grinders, all that stuff was run right off of the solar.
While running your entire bus too.
Well, yeah, we weren't plugged into anything. We never ran the generator. Everything was living off of solar there.
I don't know if you saw Chris said he can get you fixed up on that.
Okay, cool.
And then somebody else in all caps said Carter's a nice guy. He is. He's really nice.
Yes, he is.
What day are you thinking about right there?
I don't know. Either tomorrow. I see you in on Saturdays. Or does he take the
Usually,
day off?
he's usually on Saturdays. He's off on Sundays.
Saturday's gonna be a nicer weather day than tomorrow. Otherwise, I guess I'll just have to get it the next time I come in town because I think we're gonna leave on Sunday. But I don't want to jam him up especially if he's got family stuff going on or whatever. So
Are you aware that Stan is working on a bus rally at the old truck show in PA, June 19th through 21st?
who said that?
John Thompson.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that information had been released yet. So yeah, I knew that they had something in the works, but I hadn't heard the official. It's happening yet. So that's cool.
Someone said Juan and Michelle's bus is awesome,
Yes, it is.
and we are caught up again. Nope.
No, those documents have not shown up yet.
I was going to say that, but you went to it first.
So, oh, my back, of course, is killing me. How long have we been on tonight already?
50 minutes.
50 minutes. That's not even an hour, and I'm like wussed out already.
And you're in the comfortable chair. I'm sitting on a metal stool.
So maybe talk about I
How
suppose
soon you want to try that project? Because depending on how soon we can talk about that.
another super chat from John. Question number 2: my school bus has about 18-inch steering wheel. I can drive the bus fine, but my 5'4" wife can't reach the brake and gas pedal due to this. Can I put a 14-inch steering wheel on? Does it have power steering? If it has power steering, yeah, you could probably do that no problem with the smaller wheel. If it's manual steering, you will not like that at all with a smaller wheel. You really need that larger wheel to do that. But I'm guessing as the school bus is probably newer and it has power steering. But maybe check with somebody. I've never done that. I don't know anything about schoolies necessarily. Crowns are the only ones I ever really work on. How safe do you think a silver sides is in a crash? I think it's very safe. There's actually a picture of a silver sides that crashed through the side of a Greyhound building, and it's like the front of it is hanging out. The wheels are in the air. It was came like through a garage, and it was like 4 feet off the ground. And there's not like it destroyed the concrete block wall, and the silver sides, like even the mirrors in the window are still on it and everything. So
I witnessed the aftermath of one hitting a dumpster and then plowing through a metal mailbox pole.
I can't believe.
We didn't say who it was.
Oh,
They don't know. Anyway, but that bus was unscratched. You couldn't even tell that it took out 3 poles that were put in concrete and sent a dumpster flying. They're fine.
yeah, they're pretty strong. They're not like the modern buses that are in a lot of thin fiberglass and that kind of stuff. Even though it's aluminum, it's pretty well built. Picture a DC-3 airplane, and I mean that's kind of what it is. But then the front is the driver area is extra secure up there.
What wheel size fits a 3751? I mean, you could put 12R 22.5s all the way around.
Yes, and that's what I'm going. I have 12 Rs on the back and 11 Rs on the front, but 22.5s. I even think I've seen some with the 24.5s on them, but not 12 Rs. You have to watch the offset. There's different offsets, like where how far the rim comes out. I don't remember what the number is, but if you get one that's too much, then it hits the tie rod end. So you have to have the correct offset on there. So you can't just put any 22.5-inch rim on there.
This isn't in caps, but the Flexible Rally in Loudonville, Ohio, August 20th.
I would like to go to it. Yeah.
What kind of advice did you give Juan and Michelle when you were there?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Watch the gauges.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked a little bit about that stuff and, how to adjust the brakes and that kind of stuff. And, keep an eye on things and maintenance and stuff like that. So we had so much work to do that we didn't really talk a whole lot about specific things like that. And then when we were talking, I was more picking his brain about ideas for stuff for my bus.
A couple more people got in trouble here. Christopher says he can help a day in Fort Myers when you're down there.
Okay.
Someone also said that loader's for sale. Yeah, that loader that we worked on is going straight to auction after we're finished with it. We just got it running to go to auction. So if you guys want was it 504 seat Cummins or VT 504 Cummins powered loader? It runs decent. What's next on the road schedule?
Alabama.
Are you scheduling North Carolina?
Who's asking that?
Bill Yoakley.
I don't think that name's on my list. But yeah, the end of the trip, we end up in North Carolina. But I don't know, like, if we're working on Bo's bus in North Carolina, or Bo's going to bring his bus back to Tennessee. I think he wanted to come to the property with his. So I'm not really sure. If a bus, this is super chat from Robert. If a bus has been sitting for 5 years, would I have to change the oil to drive it 1 hour home? If this is the oil, doesn't look that bad. That's totally up to you. I definitely would always recommend kind of cracking the bottom of the oil pan, seeing what comes out of the very bottom. If there was any moisture or water in there, it would have went down to the very bottom. For the drain plug, just crack it loose at least. I do that all the time, where we just leave the oil that's in there if it's fine, especially if a lot of them had just had that oil change before it sat. But some people, I like to, run it through there and change it however you want to do it. So I don't think you're going to hurt anything.
Someone wants you to sell Lenny to them. I don't think that you could put a number of dollars in front of him that he would sell the bus.
Oh no, I would sell it for a price. But it would be
We
in-
can build you another one cheaper.
in excess of $100,000, and that's not a good deal. I'm just letting you in on that. I'm not a very good salesperson, but I wouldn't say. Wait, me and my wife already had the discussion. If somebody offers $100,000 for the bus, that it wasn't for sale, so it's not for sale, and so yeah.
Could you put super singles on a Silver Sides?
Um,
It'll probably happen in the next year or two.
you gonna do it?
I really want to do super
Really?
singles
Yeah.
in the back.
So somebody's done them on other buses, vintage
I've
buses.
seen them done on silver or
Scenic
scenics.
cruisers, yeah. The only problem is if you have the blowout tire, you're dragging the ground. It's not like you have that other dual there to keep you up. So
Yeah,
I would caution you. But I bet your fuel economy goes up and everything by having that. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to it. I've been looking at doing it a lot. I think it looked nice on there too.
I don't know who did it or how they had the. I couldn't find. At one point, I was looking for Bud rims that were 22.5s, and I couldn't find them. So they must have had to convert their hubs to something else to.
They
to-
did. They had to machine the entire hubs out on those scenics to get them to work.
Yeah, that's what.
There's a
I
whole
said.
thread on the Bus Grease Monkey forum about how to convert your bus to run super singles.
Yeah.
It's a long read, but it covers everything. Did Lonnie come with air ride?
No, he's Leaf Spring.
All Silver Sides are Leaf Sprung buses.
And 4103s, the 4104s were the first air ride suspension bus.
Any news on that 4104 belonging to George that survived the storm in Missouri? That's a 4106, isn't it?
He's got 4104s.
I thought he had a 6.
I think it was a 4104. Hell no, I don't know. Yeah, it's 4104. Now, no, but George reached out to me and he has just purchased another bus and he wants us to come out and work on it.
wonder what this time.
So sometime this summer, we're gonna head out to Missouri and work on his new bus. I think this one's an MCI, if I remember correctly.
Can a Detroit start running backwards if it's idling too long?
Hey, there is George. He says, "Woo." Will a Detroit run backwards? Is that what you just said? Yes, they
Can
will.
it start running backwards if it's idling too low?
Oh no,
Shouldn't be able to.
no. But if you've got it like in gear and roll backwards, it'll start back. Yeah.
Mom said no with a lot of exclamation marks. You'll never sell any.
Oh.
Is Tyler's new bus coming home or to the property? It's going to come home first. I have to build it. Right now it's an empty shell. I'd like to live in something a little nicer than like a gutted tin can with a sleeping bag.
You could do it.
I don't doubt I could. I just don't want to.
You don't even like attempt to keep your head in that thing.
And my back hurts. The more I lean this way, the less it hurts. Someone said Wanda's nice work and that they're nice people. My keys are hitting the chair, sorry. Someone's asking if I'm going to live on the new property. Yes. We have a second shop just down the driveway.
Competition.
What do you mean competition? You're gone half the year. When are you going in Alabama? Or where are you going in Alabama?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. Sorry.
Someone asked, can you convert Lenny to air ride? If so, how hard would it be? It's very possible. It's also very difficult and very expensive.
I don't think it would be that. It probably, honestly, when it was all said and done, probably would be cheaper to convert it to air than to put the new leaf springs on it.
But it would be down for weeks if we converted it to air,
Yeah.
having to make all the suspension components.
Everything would have to be completely redone.
We'd have to make new links front and rear, put radius rod mounts on the bulkheads, make a track bar to keep it centered,
It would be a lot of work.
upgrade the air system considerably.
My leaf springs are way up on my list, though. I need to get that done super bad.
He did just bribe me with something, though, that's going to be worth it for me to help him swap those springs out. It'd be a really fun project.
I don't even know what I did.
That trip.
Oh,
He told me we had to do the springs first. All right. How did you get extract the broken bolts in the 4106 upper airbag plate?
we didn't have any broken bolts in the 4106 upper airbag plate. We had some broken bolts in the shock mount for the 4106, which are still in there. We just drilled new holes right next to where they were at because he broke drill bits off inside them. They were grade 8 bolts. The drilling was not going well. And it's in a solid steel channel up there, so we just drilled holes right next to them and put through bolts in there. And then we actually just welded new heads back on the other ones, so just as an extra stud, it was on there.
Someone asked, is there any good sites to look for buses? And the next comment is, there are some good ones right now on Craig's Bus Sales on Facebook.
Yeah, that's Craig's Bus Sales is all the Craigslist listings throughout the country for buses that people put on there. That's a great spot. And then Bus Conversions for Sale is another group on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, there's not really any other things other than watch out. There's a couple of kind of shady bus sites where they pull ads from other things, reuse the pictures and rewrite the ad as like their own, but then mark up the price, and they're trying to play like the middleman on stuff. And watch it because they're selling buses that aren't really theirs.
What are the risks with a 671 that has sat for several years?
What are the risks?
Yeah, I'm assuming they mean with starting it.
It'll run away.
Yeah, you're gonna want to make sure the injectors aren't seized up, and if they aren't when you first touch it, bar it over because they will seize up afterwards. Sage's bus, all the injectors were free. I barred the engine in rotation. I had a seized injector.
Yeah, happens all the time.
It's because they're moving free now. Once you move them a little bit, that usually.
And I learned that the hard way on Jeffrey's bus,
How do you get that much off?
the emergency shutdown flapper.
Hope it goes well with George. No tornadoes in Queensland. Just the odd cyclone. From Stephen. I don't think I was too far from where he's at on my last trip, was I? Any more Wonder Lodges in the schedule coming up? North Carolina. We have to go back to Mark's bus for sure.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I'm working on. My schedule is just so ridiculous that Kelly tells me, and I really don't focus on each job until I get to that job kind of thing, because there's just too much planning and thing. Like I know what each job is while we're looking at it and scheduling it, but then it goes right out because there's just too much between here and there.
I think I have a pre-purchase inspection I'm doing up in Cedar Lake at the end of the month on one. Would a lift or a pit be beneficial on all of your repairs?
I want to have bus lifts.
I think those are nicer because you can put them in the corner and they don't have a giant hole in the floor.
Yep. Yeah, I really like it. Rob's, I really enjoyed working on the lift. So
I mean, you don't need to go very high usually with it, just enough room to get underneath of them. But that pit gets really annoying when you have a giant hole in the floor if you're working on something that's not a bus.
well, it's even a bitch working over your head in the pit,
Yeah.
and that whole standing up, looking up, holding your hand.
There's no change in the height of that either. It's
Yeah, and then trying to torque stuff standing over your head like that is virtually impossible. So you still got to have somebody on the outside of the pit to do that stuff too. So
yeah. Do you have a mag drill? Would that be something that you would use? Do you know what a mag drill is?
I do not.
Imagine like top half of a drill press on a giant electromagnet that you could hook to stuff
Wow,
on
that'd
a
be cool.
switch. Works great for doing like big pieces of plate and stuff like that.
Wow.
I'd like to have one at some point.
Yeah, that would be neat.
The thing is, you work on a lot of stuff that's aluminum. Aluminums and magnets don't work.
Yeah.
Other stuff would be nice though.
A lot of things I work on, I don't have access to get something like that in on there, depending on how big it is too. But
Are you sure you could not get by with flexible solar panels?
flexible solar panels, go look at the reviews, whoever's selling them, and make sure there's just not like 3 reviews, and make sure you look at people that have had them for a while. Every one that I've looked at, they crap out early. So I've seen some where they've caught fire, or they just within a year, or some of them 6 months, they're junk. They're producing half the voltage they were supposed to. Then they just quit altogether. The technology is just not there. There is nothing more than I would have liked to have done than to stick something to the top of the bus that had the perfect contour of the bus that did. I would have loved that. Okay, there's not anything out there that works good that can do that. So I have big panels on top of my bus, and I will charge the sun and be parked in the shade no matter where I'm at. So I'm fine with it.
Wasn't expecting that answer.
Sorry.
That's fine. Besides Luke, where else do you order parts from?
Mohawk Manufacturing, MohawkMFG.com. They're out of Niles, Illinois.
Is that your bearing supplier?
No, but I get some stuff from them. They do a lot of reproduction parts that they actually make in-house there too. And then specifically for bus coaches and stuff. And then Gene Russell Diesel Service, a lot of used parts I can get off of him, specifically Silverside stuff. And then in Detroit Diesel stuff, I'm mostly Powerline components, but there's other places too.
Someone says that we need to have a drag race together when my bus is done.
Oh, that is not even fair right now. You'll have an empty shell of a bus.
Yeah, and you're probably 60, 70 horse above me right now. I haven't even pulled my valve covers yet.
I don't think I'm that much over you.
A solid 50. If that thing's worn out and got small injectors on a 2-valve head, you're a solid 50 horse above
And
me.
8,000 pounds, probably heavier than you, which does not equal the math.
Yeah, but if we wait till my bus is done, I don't think you stand a chance. That might take a while, though. What all is involved in converting a 3751 to spring brakes?
I've got a few videos that show doing it. It's not that hard. That right side is hard because the angle the drive shaft comes in, you can't fit a regular spring brake can in this spot. But when I worked on the Benson, Arizona bus, we redid the brakes on that, and there's a plate that was made. It's like a 1-inch steel plate that went up, and so it mounted to the same spot, and then the brake can could go higher and down, and that way it's out of the way of the drive shaft. And I really detailed in that video pretty well how to do that, so you can have spring brake chambers on both sides of the rear axle in the Silversides with that.
Any more plans on working on a ship or boat with a diesel motor in it?
Yeah.
Thoughts on induction bolt heaters versus a torch? I saw Chris just commented that he has one. He loves them. I've used them before at dealerships. They're amazing, but they're really expensive.
They're not that bad. I was looking at some of them were like $300, but as a $300 one, junk. I don't know.
I don't know. All the ones I've used are like 800 and higher, so I've never even bothered looking at buying one yet.
So they look great, but a lot of places I'm at, I wouldn't have the power necessarily to power that. A lot of times, if they're 220, I've seen
They're 110.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw one that took 2 different 110 plugs. You could plug them into 2 different outlets or something, and it did it.
Would Luke have the parts for the blower?
I don't know if he would stock that kind of stuff. Your best deal on that is gonna be like Powerline Components or a place like that, or if you look up Dean's. Is it Dean's Blowers? I think that's the name of it. I've ordered several times from them. So he does for hot rods, blowers and stuff like that. So he's got like upgraded bearings and seal kits, and he's got a lot of that stuff, and he's a really good supplier for that kind of things too. I think it's Dean's Blowers.
When are you going to Gene's place?
Hopefully about 5 to 6 weeks. Man, how many people has Kelly got rid of tonight? So they're not really people. It's just computers that get in here and then screw things up.
Yeah, we're caught up.
I haven't seen what they're saying, so.
Diesel Pro Power is another good place, is what somebody says.
There's a bunch of places like that. They're all selling parts probably from Federal Mogul, or, it's all the same kind of stuff. I would never try to order from just a Detroit dealer because A, they don't even have their books anymore to order the parts. And when you tell them you have a 2-stroke diesel, half the time the parts guy doesn't even know what that is. He thinks, is this on a motorcycle or something? They don't know what a 2-stroke diesel, they just don't know.
Would you be willing to work on a John Deere tractor with the Detroit in it?
Oh, yeah. If I was working on the engine, I think I'm going to do a video tomorrow, kind of the RV side of Lenny, going over some of the really cool things that we have inside that make it a functional RV. So anybody that has a bus conversion, or if you're thinking about traveling more, there's a lot of things that we've added to the bus over the years that really make our lives a lot easier on the bus. So I think we're going to go through, Kelly and I, tomorrow, and do a video of that kind of stuff. It's a little different if you just go out for the weekend. You can get by with what you've got, but when you're living on it full time, there are a lot of things that we've added that are, comforts of home and just little things here and there, latches on things. And, we have those power drawer locks that I've shown before, and different stuff like that. So just lots of little things in there that really make it comfortable and easier to use. So I think tomorrow I'm going to do that. And then tomorrow night we're going to do another live, but it'll be on our Patreon page for Patreon only. So if you haven't thought about joining our Patreon thing, it starts at like $2 a month. And you get some extra content every month. Kelly's on there. Kelly does lives on there too. It's just, I don't want to push it too much, but it's just an extra thing that we do have. And the Patreons really do help us, support us, and help, keep the bus going and doing upgrades on the bus and things like that too.
What year is my bus and what's its history? Mine is a pre-500 47, but I haven't ran my number yet to see where it was in service at. Have you?
No.
I have a picture of it on my phone. I'll have to look that up. Do you ever go to drag races and help tune engines there? Haven't yet. I would not be opposed to that. That's it. We're caught up so far on comments.
Okay. Well, if we didn't get to your questions tonight, I apologize. Hopefully we answered most everything.
Yeah,
And
unless they reset without me
hopefully the
watching.
bots weren't so annoying for you. I'm glad that Kelly was on there keeping them hopefully pretty quick. She seemed to be pretty good on that. There was probably something else I wanted to say, but I don't really remember what. Oh, did Chris get back to us? Or find out if I can go to Chris's or whatever, not when we're done here.
Okay. Someone asked, can we build a Performance Detroit? Yes.
That'd be fun to do something, a project with Joe. I would love for Joe, if you remember Joe, the guy that helped me out in Oregon, get together with him and maybe even get some financial support from people to donate to help get his dragster. He's got that 12V71 semi-truck dragster. And that would be a fun project to go out there and do that. If we could get some people to donate some money to help him out with that, we could go out there and do that, because he builds that thing amazing, but he blows them up all the time because he's, blowing the turbos
He's
off
at
of
the
them.
limit of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want to have a similar program with that with a pulling tractor at some point.
That would be fun to do, and it'd be a fun way to help Joe out too.
Yeah.
And do that. So.
I'd love to just go work over there to learn some stuff because I do want to try to build a pulling tractor, something Detroit powered and crazy.
So there's so many things, like someday maybe,
Yeah, it's just gonna be that one day that I wake up and find a 2-stroke powered tractor on Marketplace and have the money in my pocket to go get it.
Should we do like a contest to see who guesses how much the bus is going to weigh within the closest person to the actual weight of the bus? Maybe I'll do something like that too.
You can do that in your video tomorrow.
Yeah, because when I take it to the scales, by getting rid of the batteries, we alleviated, I think we gained like 600 pounds or something like that. But then the solar panels, I put, 250 pounds of solar panels up on the roof, or 300 pounds of solar panels up on the roof. And then I added another inverter that was probably 60 pounds, but, removed 3 other inverters too. So
Somebody's already got a guess in. At 24,456.
this is not the place to guess it. I'll probably do something on the community tab or something like that. I know my number is, and I better go on a diet myself if I want to meet that number.
What did your bus weigh before?
26,400 pounds, I believe is what.
I was gonna
but-
guess 26.5.
But if you remember, Kelly wasn't in there, and I had all those extra tires in there at the time. But I also had none of our other trip stuff in there. So the way that I said it in that particular video was very bad. It made it sound like, well, I got extra 400 pounds of tires in here, but Kelly's not in here. It sounded like I was saying she weighed 400 pounds. That's not at all what I was saying. But I was saying it evened out because we didn't have all the other stuff in there. The extra, clothes for the trip, bags of luggage, and that kind of stuff. So
I'm gonna guess 26,500 with a full tank of water.
wow. I will actually be depressed if it's over 26,000 pounds.
I don't think you're going to come under 26,000. I mean, we've taken some tools and stuff out of there, but we have added a lot of other stuff. I mean, there's a vise in there now. That's
I'm about ready to take that trailer hitch vise out of my bus because I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying I need to have one. It is not a convenient thing to use. It is
not with your low hitch setup.
my hitch is a foot off of the ground and it's a pain in the butt.
I was actually going to put a pocket up right under the bed rails in my truck, so it's at working height.
Yeah. And a lot of times just a pair of pliers is almost the same. Somebody holding something in a pair of pliers is almost as easy.
I just like being able to put
than
small
using the
pieces of
vise.
metal in there when I'm drilling, so I don't drill through my hand again.
Yeah, but that weight was before the vise was in there too, so that's another 100 pounds. I got my extra clutch disc in there, which that's an extra 100 pounds, maybe 150 pounds. I think I don't know what it is. I got a lot of crap. I just pulled out some more fuel injectors. I got some. Earlier I talked about maybe selling some stuff if somebody wants to buy some parts from Lenny. I've got some fuel injectors and things like that. I would love to sell those. Just raise a little extra money if somebody wanted some parts that came off of the bus. That
Have we gone through our
I
parts
wouldn't really
inventory out
like
there?
run them, but if you want to have one, a Detroit 71 series fuel injector for your desk or something like that.
We could probably make a little mount so it stands up on your desk.
Yeah, I would probably do that. Just unload some stuff, raise some money, get the fuel and I don't know what I'm thinking, but pay for my new extra solar panels I want to add. Kelly said I spent too much money. I got to knock it off.
Did Juan mention that they're going to be coming your guys' way to see you sometime?
They are definitely, Tennessee is going to be on their route, so they'll come to us and yeah, we'll be able to go through their bus again and check things out. And
Brandon mentioned he's got his Bus Grease Monkey golf ball.
oh yeah, the autograph signed golf ball that we used to
If you ever show up on a 92 series build, ask for a signed golf ball.
limited edition.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
just only give them out on 92 series builds.
Yeah, no, I got some old valves. I got all kinds of cool little things that somebody might want just to.
I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I have that horseshoe connecting rod that we drove back on.
If you want me to autograph it, I'll autograph it. It'll be in Greece though. Are we done?
I think we are caught up.
I think we're done. I think we're gonna finish up. I'm sorry. I know there's still. There's still 500 people in here. Yeah, I'm sorry. My back hurts and I've had a long day.
That's fine.
I had to go to the dentist today. I got a crown on my tooth, and thank God that's finally done because I broke a filling on the last trip. Did you get yours done?
No, I still have to go get mine done. I thought I was going to leave for Tennessee, so I wasn't trying to schedule before I go.
So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching. And again, I should have a video tomorrow on the RV side of stuff. So if you have an RV or a bus conversion, I think you'll enjoy that. Not everything can be mechanical stuff. Sorry about that, but we'll have some projects coming up soon, and hopefully we'll be down on the property next week and have some videos of that too. And I got some of the Patreons are going to come out and help me out. One guy's I think he's gonna bring over a tractor and help us do some of the grading on the property and stuff like that too. So, and then off to the first job in Alabama in about a week would be the ideal thing there. So, all right, thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Appreciate it.